Back here in Pittsburgh, 21-0 lead for Oklahoma State over the Panthers, heading into 165 from the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Hi, everybody. National champion, Pittsburgh kid, and then now TV analyst Nino Bonacorsi joining us from up here in the booth at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Nino, how's it going?
It's going good, making my my debut. So I'm excited. It's been a great match so far. So.
Is it weird being up here, I guess, and not on the mat? It feels like this is definitely a different view than I guess you're used to.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Yeah, it's definitely weird being, you know, not mat side, but it's a nice view up here. So I'm excited for this next one.
You came up for a good one. 165, Olejnik and Heller, both in the top 10. Olejnik, the 4-time NCAA qualifier with NIU.
Yeah, this is one I kind of had circled. You know, obviously it's halfway through the dual meet, so it's kind of a big for team implications. But you know, individually, it's a good match for Holden and Olejnik. So excited for this one.
Well, talk about the match so far you've seen, Nino. Is it a little bit surprising what you've seen on the mat?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, obviously Oklahoma State came in with a good team, so some of the results might not be super surprising. This is the kind of match I expect between these two, a lot of funking around. But, you know, Pitt's definitely kind of off to a slow start here. You know, hopefully in the back half of the lineup, those Pitt guys can start coming away with those wins. But Oklahoma State looks really good so far.
Your former teammate of Holden, Heller, guy now in his redshirt senior season. Seems like he's kind of stepping into that role that you might have had last year as one of those veteran leaders in the locker room. What can you say about him and the kind of teammate that he's been?
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely just a leader in the room, obviously. But just outside the room, he's a great teammate, a great friend to a lot of the guys, and he's definitely taken up a role for these younger guys in the program, just kind of showing them the ways, and yeah, just being an overall great teammate.
Good counter there by Olejnik.
Olejnik, someone who's defeated a ranked opponent in 6 of his last 8 matches. 7-0 against ranked opponents so far this season. Big reason why he's got that little number 2 next to his name.
Yeah, like I was saying, this is the type of match, you know, Olejnik got great offense, but Heller very stingy in the defense. You can see right here. I feel like this is going to be the type of battle that's going to win the match. Whoever can come out on top of these scrambles is going to win another skill right there.
One heck of a brick toss there from John Smith.
He's got a cannon. He threw it across the mat.
Seems rather confident that he should have got a takedown there.
You know, you're someone who's kind of used to coming into these matches ranked pretty highly, 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. You feel like you got a target on your back ever when you're in that kind of situation where you kind of feel like you're one of the top guys in the country and everybody's kind of out to get you in that regard? Yeah,
for sure. I think whether or not we want to think like that, you know, I think it's just, it can't help but sink in. You know, obviously, you know your ranking, you know how good you are. And yeah, it is matches like that when you got that high number or low number next to your name that, you know, a lot of guys are gunning for you. But you know, I've seen it break some guys having that type of target, and I've seen it propel some guys. Some guys feed off that energy and liking that you know, I'm the guy to beat. So I think Holden is one of those guys. He kind of embraces that limelight, and obviously Olejnik is you know, having a great season so far. So seems not fazed by it.
Well, you saw there in that replay, Nino. Do you feel like that could have been 2 or 3, I should say?
It's close. You know, I know one of the rule changes was this year was the reaction time. So you got a little more time to react before they call a quick takedown. Looked awfully close. They might.
You know, a guy like yourself, Nino, who was so excellent on your feet getting takedowns. You talk about the rule changes. Are you looking back like, man, where was that 3-point takedown
all the time? Yeah, I'm like, they couldn't implement this when I was around. Obviously, being neutral is one of my favorite things, and you know, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a step in the right direction with these you know, these rule changes. They're trying to create a lot of action, which is great, but I kind of wish I had the 3. I do think that, oh, look, see, no takedown.
1 minute remaining in the first period. It's still scoreless between Olejnik and Heller.
think what Heller has to do here is look to generate some offense of his own. Obviously, he's got that defensive ability, but if he can get one of his own, you can kind of put him in the driver's seat as far as, you know, hanging on and defending some of Olejnik's offense.
Olejnik earned his 100th career victory earlier this season, after coming off a MAC championship with UNI last year, transferring into Oklahoma State. Never hurts when you get a transfer all the way up to #2 in the country. It's as good as it gets from the transfer portal.
This is great. It's great.
10 seconds left here in a scoreless first period so far between Olejnik and Heller. In that way, so 165 still 0-0. Let's take a quick walk down memory lane, Nico. You get some familiar pictures here and that national championship
with that long
last year.
hair too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should cut it off a little bit since then, but
oh man,
you look back on these. What do you remember about that day specifically?
A lot of it was a blur. I'll be honest. It was just, you know, still a little bit hard to believe. Still riding high, believe it or not. That was just, you know, a dream I've had for so long. And, you know, to finally, like you see there, embrace with Coach Gavin and then my family, it was just truly something that I'll never forget. Feels good to have all that hard work pay off.
And you talked about your dad a lot too after that as well. What kind of role did he have, especially in your younger wrestling career?
Yeah, you know, my dad was, he was, funny enough, my driver. Oh, nice little slick shot by Olejnik. My dad was, you know, obviously my chauffeur. He would drive me to all my practices when I was younger, and he was my second coach. You know, I'd go to club practices and hear from my club coach, and then hear my dad on the way home. So he was a big role in my life.
4-1 lead for Olejnik.
How are your nerves in that national championship? Knowing you'd been there once before, you know, obviously came up a little bit short, but did that help you not have as many nerves this time around?
Yeah, I think definitely being in that position before definitely helped create a lot of, definitely eliminated some of the nerves compared to the second time. But, you know, a lot of this year I kind of had a lot of freedom wrestling. I was just very loose and just not fearful of losing. So on top of being there for the first time and just having that mindset this year, I really felt like I was able to wrestle freely and, you know, contend with all these great wrestlers. So it was definitely a good step.
You know, mentioned it a little bit earlier in the broadcast, but, you know, Keith Gavin never won a state title, wins a national title. You yourself, a couple of state runner-up finishes, but you end up becoming a national champion. And I just mentioned that, you know, you don't have to be a state champion in high school to be a national champion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think that's a common misconception with wrestlers growing up. They think, you know, if they don't win states or maybe have the success they want right away, that, you know, there's no chance in college because it's a step up. But clearly, you know, I'm a prime example. Coach Gavin's an example of, you know, it doesn't really matter, you know, as you grow up. It doesn't matter how you start, but, you know, it just matters how you finish and how you progress each day. So.
And the period too. Heller got that escape point, cuts it to 3 against Olejnik. Here's your resume. I mean,
awesome.
As good as it gets, really, at the NCAA level. You start, as Greg said, as someone who wasn't necessarily bursting onto the scene out of high school, but the development of these coaches here at Pitt, what can you say about them and sort of your pursuit of that national title and what they did for you along the way? Yeah,
you know, coming into college and even now, the coaches definitely preach just developing every day, and it's kind of tough and something that I'm trying to preach to these younger guys that you know, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, it's just about kind of day by day tasks, really. So I think the coaches do a really good job of that, and my support system did a good job of just really just trying to be the best wrestler I could be each day, and then obviously as those accumulate, you can achieve great things. So I was very lucky to be a Panther and just have a great family behind me.
Holden Heller having a tough time of getting out from underneath. Looks like we'll get that stalemate. Important for Heller here to get a quick start.
Yeah, very crucial to get your one here, especially before riding time ekes up a little more than you know, into that first minute. He's able to get an escape and get back to his offense. He'll have enough time to get rid of that riding time and try to steal this one back. This is a big part in the match right here.
Well, that is a quick escape, so he's going to have to get a takedown with a good 10 seconds left so he can eliminate it, like you mentioned.
Right back in on the leg. This is where Holden needs to be.
Right time still in favor of Olejnik, but Heller showing some life late here in the third.
That bottom leg of Olejnik, he needs to get under that and shelf that as fast as he can. This is why Holden's great. This scrambling ability, this unorthodox way of finishing. Got it up here. Stingy defense from Olejnik.
Yeah, great job really turning into him there. Now he's in a good position. Heller, what can Heller do here, Nino?
Really just try to shelf that leg at this point. Give everything you got.
So Olejnik will take it with the ride time point. We'll go to 5-2, and a valiant effort from Heller, but not enough to take down the #2 wrestler in the country in 165.
Yeah, good match by both wrestlers. Olejnik, it's kind of opposite what I was saying at the beginning of the match. He was very offensive, but he showed some good defense at the end. And Heller right there with the #2 guy. So it might not be the result he wanted tonight, but definitely confidence going into March when it matters, knowing you could be right there.